Welcome back, everyone, to the After Hours Gaming League of Legends edition, I guess. Is it edition? I'm going to go with edition.
Yeah.
League of Legends edition. We just saw Microsoft, the Titan Microsoft, take on the returning champions of Team Amazon, and Microsoft went undefeated, swept everyone off the tournament. That's the thing you sweep people off of, tournaments. And now, right now, we're good to go. We've got the Riot team in, hand-selected Rioters who are here for, again, company honor.
Company honor.
Company honor.
Right.
Here to compete against the returning champions of Microsoft. It's going to be Microsoft versus our colleagues at Riot Games.
Yeah. Now, this is a hard, I don't know how many people know about this tradition, but it's a hard-earned tradition for Riot to play in these matches and lose them.
Yes.
It turns out that, I mean, we play the game a lot, and we're not bad, but then when we go up against, I guess, the top companies or the top teams or whatnot, we always tend to realize that we're not that good either in those types of... I have high hopes today.
I do not.
I've played with a number of the writers that we brought out, but just the clinic that Microsoft was able to put on in the past 2 games, this is going to be a really, really tight one.
Yeah. I mean, we do have a lot of really good Riot hooks here. Formerly Rumble is the other guy's name. He's he kind of pops in and out of Challenger so often. He's a stellar support player. We've got Janook, who you might be familiar with if you follow the forum scene at all. He's one of our big esports guys. He plays a lot of mid champions, sort of well known in the past for his Lux and getting beaten on pro player streams as well. So
let's get right into picks and bans. Maybe we can head right into that right away and see how this game shapes up. All right.
Yeah.
And I think what we need is Broseph to start our game up. We're going to see how this is going to play out.
Yeah, they'll be starting any second now. I believe the bands picks are the same rules as last time, right? Gentleman's agreement, follow the LCS strategy, and here we are, jumping right in. We're going to see we're going to see how this is going to turn out. I mean, these teams don't know each other very well.
That's true.
I think the only one that really kind of gives away his sort of position is, I guess, the guy named formerly Rumble, who
might play Rumble.
He might play Rumble, but he's also mainly a support player now. I'm not sure if he's going to... Maybe we'll see a Rumble support. I was a little disappointed in the previous games by the... all these guys play unorthodox supports until everything is on the line, and they're like, oh...
Yeah, well, let's go back to traditional. I don't want to be the cause of us losing. Yeah.
Exactly. But it's such a great strategy. Not only do you catch your opponent off guard, but you have that fallback where if you lose, the opponent's team is like, yeah, we crushed you. And you're like, well, dude, I ran, like, Caitlyn's support.
Like, that's your defense.
It's the perfect defense. Right now, it's like, no, I tried really hard and I lost, right? Like, you can just kind of rub it in their faces a little bit. But right now... They just don't have a good fallback, and like I think Riot team doesn't go to fallback either. Like these guys have played together before. They work on the game, so it's not like. They have an excuse of like.
I think Microsoft has the advantage when it comes to that because they've played as a 5-man team for the entire season, and you know the Rioters they play, but they're all good at solo play. They're not necessarily the best. As a 5v5 kind of group up right there. Yeah. So we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, so all the bans are out. We have Vi, Thresh, and LeBlanc. I'm pretty sure they were watching the previous games.
Yeah.
Saw that Vi just dominating in both games from Microsoft. We're seeing the Kassadin ban, not surprising. The Soda ban, Rise. We're seeing a Vel'Koz locked in. This could be that support Vel'Koz that we were talking about earlier that might be happening.
I love Heimerdinger.
Or I mean, don't call anything until the players lock in.
Yeah, they're not gonna lock it. But it's still it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, and that Jax went through. That Jax has been drawing bans out this entire time. Right? Didn't follow the previous strategies. They don't know this team that well. They haven't been researching them as in depth as Amazon and Microsoft were researching each other. So, let's see here. We're seeing the Jarvan lock in and the Xerath lock in. He's a guy I haven't seen a lot of recently.
No, you don't see a lot of Xerath. He has that range, and he actually, if Vel'Koz were to go mid, which I expect him to play support, then that's actually not a bad counter because they both are long distance AP mages. Although Anivia is an odd choice because he definitely outranges Anivia, and to pick Anivia into into Xerath.
This is a comfort pick,
Yeah,
I think, right?
yeah.
We're talking about, Microsoft mid laner, well known for Nivea play. So I guess it's not shocking. We're seeing a lot of these sort of. These are basically all the comfort picks we're seeing coming back, like saying the favorite champion was Jax, Vel'Koz, Anivia, all stuff. And we're seeing the Varus. We are seeing the Rumble.
So formerly Rumble is not going to go support. He is going to go top with his Rumble. Now, do you have a personal? We have Rammus.
This is going to be a
That's
really
a fascinating
interesting
pick.
team comps. I'm not sure how they're going to play this out. We are seeing some switch arounds here. I would actually not be surprised if the Riot team does some kind of shifty shenanigans here and actually switches up the roles and actually doesn't run Leona bot.
Really?
It's something I've seen before. It's something I know, like, I started doing a lot of, like, Leona mid for a while, and I sort of went around the office. Shantzilla started playing it and kind of propagating it around, became a thing.
It is powerful. Trinity Force on the Leona will put her in a solo lane easily.
Formerly Rumble is mainly a support player, so I could potentially see him on support Rumble. That would be potentially very devastating. Although, who knows, they might roll back to something a little more traditional, do the Leona Lucian bot lane, which is, classic and terrifying.
Now, Rumble is a champion that you are, it's very near and dear to your heart, right?
A little bit, yeah. It was, the first champion I got to work on. He's adorable. He's he's a super fun little guy, right? Like, the bigger they are, the harder I hit them, right? Like that kind of little scrappy dude with a little bit of attitude.
All right, and here we have the Riot team applauding Microsoft. I don't know what they're doing.
I think they're just really excited to be here.
They're just amped.
It's not so often that they get to go and play in a setup like this.
And that's Scarazard. That's his big ugly mug.
Yeah, and it looks like
there.
he'll be playing. Looks like he'll be playing some Leona.
Leona.
We got so Captain being put back onto. This is Jax, which is like a guy that he was being banned out all the time. So we're going to see how powerful.
See why he was banned out.
See why all these Jax is so banned. So
there is a lot of laughter and a lot of fun kind of going around. You can hear it in the background.
Absolutely.
These are teams that are just having a blast right now. So hopefully we're going to have a fun game to watch.
Yeah. There's just so much fun happening here. Yeah.
All right.
All right, so we have a little bit of delay. They're starting up the game. We're on the 3-minute delay because we're spectating and observing, like little overlords watching the puppets move around and dance and play.
So you know what's interesting to me is the Rammus pick. I think Rammus is a very underrated lockdown. A very underrated lockdown champion. But the flip side of it is he's really good against AD champions. And, there's not a lot of that. I think a lot of the damage team. So I think Rammus is an interesting pick.
He is, but he's a character with such good lockdown potential. He's got that, over 2-second long taunt.
Yeah.
He's got that knock up when he hits him with the Powerball. He's got the speed boost. He's got the lockdown. He can basically take somebody and peel and isolate and catch. And his ganks are devastating, even early on.
And they're hard to prepare for, too, because even if you have a ward there, he can zoom right past it, and you're like, oh, all right, I see him coming. I'm going to back off. And any other champion, you'd have plenty of time to kind of back off, other than maybe a Nocturne ult.
Yeah.
But against a Rammus, he just comes in so quick.
People think Hecarim's fast. Rammus is even faster. Has more speed, more duration on his, and as you were saying,
CC,
it's not even just that he can run past wards, right? He can run through the enemy jungle almost, and just come out completely blindside an opponent. Lands that single taunt, which is not hard because you just click on him, and they're going to get taunted. They're going to get caught, and that can be a GG in an early gank.
And the flip side of it, too, is when it's time for him to push a tower, he ults, and, Rammus is able to... He's devastating up against, like, a Renekton, and he's devastating, against a Ribbon or against a lot of the... or against a Jax. I mean, a lot of the AD champions, I think he'd be an exceptional pick for, but it doesn't look like, other than Jarvan, and if he can get to the back lane to reach the Acetaminophen on his Lucian, then he can wreak some havoc there. But if he's not able to do that, having a bunch of armor isn't going to help you against a bunch of AP champions.
I mean, thankfully he does at least get, a ton of magic resistance while he's in the defensive ball curl, but he's not going to be itemizing for it as strongly as other characters who might go. So he does get all that extra benefit from armor. He synergizes with it very well. But it's still like 150 magic resistance or something absolutely crazy. So he is going to be still really difficult to take down. I mean, he's probably going to be getting, you know, Ancient Golem, which means he's going to get a lot of health. Means he's going to get he's going to get that tenacity as well. And then because he's going to pick that tenacity from that jungle item, that's almost going to lock him into Ninja Tabby to give him that sort of that extra armor, that reduction from auto attacks, which is exactly what he wants.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like the game is underway. We are going to start up again very soon. we hear some creative play from 3 minutes in the future, but for now we are going to watch as teams run out. Looks like they're all gathering at do you think they're going to have a dance-off?
They might have a dance-off. Not really sure how this is going to head out. Everyone is kind of barreling down mid. We are seeing that is going to be a support Leona. We saw that via the items. That's going to be a pretty big heads up. And that is also a support Vel'Koz.
Support Vel'Koz.
We are seeing that support Vel'Koz. Oh, nice stun there on the Chinook. You're getting caught, hit from the side. It's going to be first blood for Jax. That is extremely devastating. This is a just absolute brawl on mid lane.
Wow.
Oh man, that is not looking good for the Riot team. That's 400 gold, first blood. Oh man, and a couple of assists for Team Microsoft.
And so it begins.
Oh man.
That was a little painful to watch.
Yeah, I was jokingly typing in Chinook Sabati in chat before the game started, but it turns out that is in fact correct. But yeah, oh, and there's Vel'Koz doing a little bit of taunting there with that amazing Battlecast skin.
So it definitely appears that Leona is going to go support. She has her support item. I think we're going to expect Rumble up top to go up against the Jax.
Yeah, but that is not going to be a fun thing to go up against when he has that extra gold. And Jax, interestingly enough, went Fortitude Potion, which is not a common pick that we see now. But it's going to give us sort of some of that surprise factor. He's going to be able to get that big burst of health, get some extra attack damage. And while that Potion of Elixir of Fortitude is active, he's going to be able to out-duel Rumble.
Well, what he doesn't have, though, is he doesn't have his Ignite or his Flash for a little bit. He was able to trade it off for basically a Beads of Rejuvenation, but I'm not sure that's it's not the end of the world. I'm interested to see how, I'm really excited actually to watch this top matchup and see how that plays out.
Yeah, I mean,
as if on cue.
Formerly Rumble is a very strong top laner, but he is down resources. So
yeah, already.
Yeah, already before the match has even started. And usually when you start the laning phase, things are pretty dead even. You kind of goes back and forth a bit, like but right now, and he went counter strike first. Also interesting choice. Not gonna be able to dodge those Electro Harpoons though from Rumble. A little bit of rest between there back and forth. Yeah, and hit level 2, and that's going to be those things where you don't want to deal with a Jax who is out-leveling you and out-iteming you. Yeah. Especially early.
It's going to be a really hard matchup for Rumble for a bit.
Nice move there. Silent Healing with the rest, but Skarsgård moves in. Doesn't let the sunlight there. Not going to be Ignite being thrown down there. He keeps in pursuit. Vel'Koz definitely getting away from this. Lucian is so low, he cannot follow up with this. Anya might be going for it. Nice move there by Skarsgård, landing the damage, and that's going to be killed there by Minimin is in a lot of trouble as well. Varus does land the hero there. He doesn't want to stick around for this. And
it looks like up top we might have an interesting...
And Chinook taking a little bit of damage there, not able to land the skill shots in response. Broseph just kind of walking all over him. And this is Varus doing a really good job of throwing harassment, although Skarsgård moving in, does land the stun. Lucian moving in, nice play there. Good follow-up. The sunlight damage from Leona is just so strong. That's going to cause Lucian, who already does a lot of early game damage.
And now at this point, it makes sense the bot lane would head back. Ooh, and J4 is able to get the gank.
Kill there onto Anivia.
Yeah, that was very well done. Looks like Rammus is up top. He's getting ready to...
Yeah, so this is a common tactic you'll see often where like, they don't have vision, and there's no way he's going to have wards in that brush. And Yuru is just camping that spot, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. There's no way Rumble knows. Jax is trying to keep this very, very safe. The Powerball is moving in here. Is he going to be able to nice move there? Rumble has to flash out of this one. Jax slightly mistiming the counter strike, so they weren't able to follow it up. But that is going to force him back. Rumble is at half health, not going to be able to out-duel Jax, although Jax has popped that Elixir of Fortitude. He moves in, and a little bit of damage. Well, Jax does have to watch his mana bar as well. So, potentially a very, very devastating gank. Didn't quite work out. Right. So
You know, Rumble's gonna have a hard time. I mean, he's not getting a lot of farm, 14 to 25.
nice.
And he's not able to stay in that lane much longer.
Oh, there he goes again, just jumping in. And we are seeing
This is what
Jarvan
he
here.
needs.
Yeah, this is exactly what he needs. He's in the overheat. His auto attack's doing so much damage. Jax skillfully manages to saunter away from that.
Wow.
The Flame Spitter, that's going to be enough damage. Rylan picks up the kill there onto Jax. Oh, and Skarzard again after the Varus. Lucian throwing a bunch of damage. Not able to throw it, and Varus throwing a little bit of retaliation damage, although this bottom lane is not going well. Oh, nice gank here for him. He's completely caught them unaware.
Wow.
Lucian is completely taunted. Lands there by Vel'Koz. That's going to be a nice 1-2-3 combo onto Lucian and just completely obliterated.
That was very, very well done. I gotta say, after the 0-1 start, I'm surprised that Riot was able to turn it around to 4-2 so quickly. It's 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
You know.
But I mean, you know, they're honestly not that far off at this point. So, you know, they're only about less than 1,000 gold off, which is a little bit of a big deal here at this point in the game. But at the same time, they haven't, a lot of them haven't gone back, they haven't purchased, and so a lot of people, even if they have a little bit of gold, they aren't necessarily taking advantage of that gold.
Because they haven't bought yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Varus recalling away, they're coming back, picking up some additional items here. Picking up that Vamp Scepter now. Now this is sort of when bot lane starts to kind of transform a bit.
Yeah.
Because both those characters have that Vamp Scepter, they're able to kind of heal up a lot. Yeah, I'm not sure really who has the advantage overall at this point in the game. They're still pretty close.
I'd say, I mean,
they have the advantage, obviously, but it's not that great.
Oh yeah, this is still anyone's game. I'd probably say at this point, maybe Riot is winning the laning phase. Getting that a kill on Anivia, since we know her passive is down. That was very strong. And while they did get the first blood, they got it in pregame, and that's just not worth as much gold.
We are seeing Jarvan moving here again. Oh, the Rumble ult
wow.
misses. Jarvan misses the flag combo as well. That could have been extremely devastating, but a little bit of error in play there by both members of Riot.
You know, you could say error in play on Riot's side, or you could, you know, give him credit where credit's due. He was able to dodge both of them.
I will give Jax credit for dodging the flag combo, because that was skillful. Let's be fair, formerly Rumble messed that one up. He was standing still, just missed him completely. So. Oh, a little bit of damage being thrown out there. Chinook kind of coming back into this lane, bringing it in again. Silent J landing the corner shot, the Sidewinder as they call it. But yeah, just basically keeping Jax underneath his own turret, trying to make him lose a little bit of farm, a little CS, a lot of damage being thrown down there onto Lucian. Silent J though in a lot of trouble as they return. Ignite being thrown down there, not going to be enough. He'll move on, moving that.
Lucian is not going to be able to get out.
Oh yeah,
oh
like
my goodness!
With almost no health. I'm gonna check that out real fast. How much health was that? Oh my God!
That was phenomenal support play.
That was crazy. So.
That was phenomenal play by both riders at bot. That was
exactly
surprising. Yeah,
that felt like they were at a disadvantage, and they turned that around in their favor and didn't lose a kill or anything as a result. So.
Now, what's really odd here is that Leona is by herself, and she's playing pretty aggressive at bot.
Nice counter-strike there. Jax jumping onto Rumble. He's in a lot of trouble here. He's trying to get out of here. Rammus in hot pursuit. The Powerball does land it.
Yeah.
He does hit the taunt there. This is a very dead Rumble, and that is indeed formerly alive. Now I've seen it. Microsoft, or actually Riot here is picking up this dragon, and it's going to be uncontested.
Yeah.
That's a really, really smart play. The teams are dead even right now. Oh! Ram is being done in his own jungle, but Chinook having to flash deeper into the opposing jungle. Anivia in hot pursuit lands the thing. Ignite
really well done
down,
with the wall.
Jax in hot pursuit, and there we go. Jax picking up the kill there onto Chinook. A very, very risky and aggressive play by Chinook that did not work out.
It was I know he was going for an easy kill on Rammus, but at that point you just want to support your dragon.
Yeah, and you're just way too deep in the enemy jungle with no support. Rumble was,
he knew
dead.
that Rumble was dead.
Yeah, he knew Rumble was dead. Jax can move down. Anivia moved down. I mean, it was basically a 3v1.
Yeah, at best it would have been a 2v1. So
yes.
Much smarter and safer play just to take dragon. But hindsight.
Yeah.
All right. I think dodging Vel'Koz's skill shots are some of the trickiest in the game.
Yeah, they can be. Oh, there we go with the laser. Scars are taking the damage. Oh, Varus ultimate misses the target. And it's probably the most frequently missed ultimate in the game from what I've seen, at least in competitive play.
Yes.
There.
Skarzard's he's being pretty bold here because
a little bold,
Vel'Koz
but not going to try and
has
dive
the
that.
range.
You really don't want to try and like sneak dive a Leona because she's just going to stun you underneath tower and then root you underneath tower. And
that's true.
I mean, she's not level 6 yet, so she's not going to do another stun underneath the tower, but very soon that's, you know, 2 stuns in a root. Yeah. That's pretty dangerous.
Get brutal pretty fast.
Exactly. And once again, you know, Riot was up an objective, and that is accounting for their small gold lead, but
that gold lead is diminishing at this point.
Exactly.
And it looks like we have 3. We have a counter gank at mid with J4.
Oh, nice move there, beyond the Cataclysm. And Nivea trying to follow this up, not going to be enough. Ram is sneaking in here as well. Jinook could be in trouble.
Yeah.
Definitely going to not follow that up. Varus getting a little bit of harassment there on Illusion, although they're probably just going to both kind of heal this back up. Oh, man, what do we just... A little bit of dancing between Rammus and Jarvan, kind of in their jungle. You can see here is the Powerball moving in. He's just kind of messing with them.
You know, at this point, they know right where Rammus is, and with that knowledge, you know, Rumble can play very aggressive up top, or with bot gone, you can have Lucian and Leona kind of push the lane and reset it at the tower.
Accounted for, all the laners know what's happening.
Yeah.
Chinook throwing a little bit of harassment. He does have that blue buff, which is going to give him all the mana he needs, going to give him all the CC he needs, and he's going to be able to just kind of poke away at this at Broseph and Nivea and just not really care too much about his mana.
Yeah.
Or the cost of his actions really at all. So, see nice little pickups there. Varus trying to desperately not lose any of the minions underneath towers. It is a very common tactic to sort of push the enemy wave up as close as you can to the enemy turret, so that, you know, the turret will try and take some of those kills and deny a little bit of gold.
It's a really good, as long as you have the ward coverage. I mean, it's just the smartest strat.
Yeah.
You want to deny farm whenever you can. You want to reset the lane if you can.
Yeah, and oh, nice.
He's just laying waste there, and now he's going to ultimate it. I'm not sure Rammus.
Does manage to dodge the last little bit. I think one of those might have been enough to seal the deal. Formerly Rumble definitely bullying this Jax.
You know, it's interesting because Jax is 3-1, and Rumble is 0-1. Jax has a gold lead and a creep score lead, but Rumble keeps bullying him in lane, and it just shows the power of Rumble. Once he kind of gets going, he gets that haunting guys, able to get that magic penetration, and the damage he's able to wreak on Jax, who honestly doesn't have any magic resisted. He's not itemized for it yet.
Yeah, I mean, he does get a little bit from his ultimate, and it eventually winds up being split a bit, but you know, currently, it doesn't have a lot of defense against Rumble, who probably has magic pen runes. You know, he does have that haunting guys. He's gonna probably start. Oh, nice play here. A lot of aggression. Rammus, this is gonna be a 3v3. The ultimate comes out on Skarzard. There's a lot of trouble. Varus does on the ultimate. Varus gets taken down by Jarvan. Skarzard still in danger. The Rammus all takes him down. Janook moving in from the side. Double kill there on the Rammus. Gets taken out. 2 for 1 in favor of Team Riot.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Dragon is not up. This would be an amazing opportunity for Riot to sort of come back and take that Dragon on top of that victory. But, you know, right now they just have to kind of walk away secure and happy in the 2 kills they got.
Yeah. You know, it's a very different matchup than the first 2 that we saw today.
Yeah, it is.
Microsoft just doesn't have, they're not owning the fight as much as they were.
And we're not seeing the same level of sort of coordination and teamwork from Microsoft that we saw last time. Rammus is doing a pretty good job, but before, when he was on Vi, he was just like all over exactly where he needed every single opportunity, and we're seeing the same thing here, where Rammus comes in counter gank, but then Riot was already counter ganking.
Yeah.
Just layers and layers. It's like League
ganking and counter ganking, and I couldn't agree more.
So nice. All right, Jarvan picking up that red buff as well, and they're definitely kind of securing a little bit of a gold lead still here. They're up about 1,500 gold, which is definitely sizable, not insurmountable. And Dragon will be respawning here shortly, so we're gonna see how that becomes a contested.
If it comes up in the next 35, in the next 30 seconds, Dragon should come up. And honestly, Riot knows about that. And while they've probably cleared the ward and they know the Dragon is missing, they don't know the exact time on when they should be there, whereas Riot does. Look for him to take advantage of that, especially if
oh, nice flash there. Is he going to try and get this kill? He did flash in, which usually, and ignited, which is usually going to be a signature that he's going to try and, go all in and get the kill, but he backed off. Blue ignite, blue flash is going to force Rumble back. Actually, Rumble's not even going back. Rumble's extremely confident at this point. Surprisingly so for being down in CS and down in kills.
Yeah.
Although Jax is one of those characters that a little bit weaker early, but man, when Jax starts taking off, that man is a true terror.
Yeah. He's one of the best high-end duelers in the game.
Oh, here we go. He's fighting for the kill. Nice bait there.
Right.
Oh,
my goodness.
Over him. He does get taunted here. Amazing peel.
Is he going to ult?
He doesn't have the ult. The ult is down. He can't do this, and Rammus is taking on Jax lands the leap strike.
Gosh.
That's going to be enough. Amazing play there by Jax. Although Riot is trying to use this to take out that dragon.
They use that to get a second dragon.
And there you go. They got the dragon. Oh, Sunlight misses.
Oh, Rumble
with the ult.
Able to get him down.
Amazing play there by Janook on Xerath, taking out Varus. Oh, man. And Vel'Koz slipping away with a sliver of health. That's going to be a pretty, exasperating this gold lead. Oh, Rammus moving in, flashes onto Janook. Does limit here. A lot of trouble. The wall does move down there, but Rammus is also extremely low. But Ryan is in a lot of trouble. Rammus does get taken out. He does manage to Nivea takes out. And together, Scars are in hot pursuit with Vel'Koz kind of moving in to kind of guard his retreat.
Yep, and that was the right play. I was actually really impressed by the way Anivia went forward instead of back with that.
Yeah.
And it proved to be the right play. So well done. And Jax was not able to take the top tower.
But he is going to maybe, point blank stun, although Jax gets to play the Rune King, is exhausted, does not care.
Yeah.
He only knew that one extra hit, regardless of the damage reduction on his attacks. But, Rumble used this opportunity to take out top turret.
Yep.
So, this is going to make...
The kills are close, but every time one objective goes down, or one team goes down, an objective goes up. So, Riot is doing a good job of keeping this game at least tight. Not the embarrassment that a lot of our games have been in the past.
All right, so things are kind of resetting here. Things go back to bot lane. We are seeing Rammus potentially doing something.
Getting ready. He's in position. They know he's out of sight right now.
I'm not sure. Oh, it looks like he was kind of powerball lining. See if they're going to try and make some aggressive play here. They're not following it up, so it's going to just try to throw in a little bit of harassment, try and get as much damage as they can. But Rammus is moving back here again. Rammus seems very indecisive right now. He's like, do I want to go gank? Do I not want to go gank? Should I go back? I'm just going to go get wolves. But he is wasting a lot of time. Oh, J in a little bit of trouble here. Although Sunlight moves down, Skarsgård is going to hit the stun.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, the culling.
Double kill.
And that's a double kill for Leona, though.
That's not ideal, but you want it to go to someone.
You absolutely take it. And
kill secured.
Yeah. Rumble takes out another turret. Mid-turret being taken down here for
and they're going to get bot turret.
Riot. And they're going to get bot turret out of this as well. This is really, really
all
good
of a sudden this
here.
game opened up and there's a 4,000, almost a 5,000 gold differential between the two teams. If they get this mid turret right here, it'll happen.
Yeah, definitely. And so you see Microsoft here moving into position to try and
They're going to try and get top, and that'll help, but it's only going to, I'd rather have a mid turret than a top turret any day of the week.
Oh, absolutely.
Charizard playing and Leona just does not care.
Yeah, and Rammus does manage to land the taunt there onto Rumble. Rumble with his flamethrower is not the one you want to taunt. Vel'Koz landing the lasers of doom. And Janook throwing down the Xerath ultimate while Jarvan has evil cataclysm did. Anivia is an egg form, just gets completely decimated. 4 members of Microsoft are down. That's going to be a 4-for-0 pickup for Riot, and they're going to be able to take something else off this probably.
That's a good sign for Riot if they can win like that, and they only have 1 tower down, 15-8, and they're taking their blue. This is better shape than they've been in games gone past. Definitely.
Yeah, they are performing very well today. Unfortunately, I was hoping for more material to sort of troll them with. Got a little bit on Janook for some of those early plays. But unfortunately, they might be actually using this against us at some point.
I suppose
you thought we were going to get crushed. Although there's still time.
There is still time. There is still time. I really love the Leandries pick on Rumble. When Rumble has the innate slow, putting a Leandries on it just makes him burn through. Plus the magic penetration from the boots and the Leandries. It's just with that one item. Very, very devastating Rumble.
He's going to be able to do so much damage with that, as you just said. That's not a man I want to be fighting against. Like, just get 1 or 2 ticks from that flame spitter, you're going to take so much damage just from the overall lingering burn effects. And Riot being very aggressive here, grouping up, kind of pushing mid. I mean, they're at a big enough lead right now. They can probably pretty safely bully them underneath Microsoft's own turrets.
Yeah.
And they do have Xerath, strong poke champion. They have Lucian, who's okay, and then we saw before Leona can just die wherever she wants. Oh, and nice move. Ram is trying to powerball out of here. And Nivea covering his retreat, but Riot's in complete control of the map. No, they just took that. They took that red buff. They're taking all these jungle objectives, and Microsoft just can't feel safe anywhere here. It's actually almost very similar to the first game between Microsoft and Amazon, where Amazon had no control over their own jungle, and they couldn't step outside without, you know, risking getting ganked or killed or beaten up. You know,
in Microsoft's defense, though, I mean, for the past 2 games, Riot's been watching.
It's true.
They knew to ban out Vi. They weren't probably completely sure why it wasn't happening.
Oh, there, nice flash there by Jax, although the Sunlight is going to be, and Tunuk is going to be able to pick up that kill there, although Rumble gets taken down as well. This will be 1 for 1, although 3 members of Microsoft are late, and they are low. They're going to get the Tunuk moves in, he gets taunted, gets taken out by the combination of that, although Leona dives in, not going to be able to do enough, though. Jarvan, extremely aggressive, does want to pick up there. Oh, but he gets underneath turret and does get hit by the taunt, and that turret's doing more and more damage. Each shot isn't going to be enough. That last turret shot isn't going to be enough for the pickup kill there from Rammus, and Rammus is still alive. That's better than I was expecting.
Yeah, that was a good trade.
Yeah, it was a good trade considering how far behind Microsoft is. They got an extra kill of it. They lost a turret, but, you know, they're going to be able to make up some level difference, going to be able to make up some item difference. This is very good. An aggressive Rammus play here. He's extremely low, just wandering around in the enemy jungle. He knows Lucian is low as well. I think that's definitely what they're going for, and positioning for this dragon.
Yeah, I think this is interesting. I don't know how much visibility Lucian has here. If he knows how in trouble he probably should be.
That's why he's sort of trying to. Oh, he is recalling.
Yeah, now he's
getting a little uncomfortable with the entire present MET being unknown, and it's going to be a free dragon for Microsoft.
Yeah,
that's going to put them
a little bit
back
in this
game.
This helps with the gold too.
Yeah.
It's still a 6K gold differential, but you know, at this point, every little bit helps.
Yeah.
They got to be able to start contesting some of these fights. I think as the game progresses, and both of these supports start getting more itemization, I thought that Skarzard has had a very good early game. He's 3-1-4 for a support. That's outstanding. Can't ask for more. But Vel'Koz is 0-4-5. But as the game progresses and he's able to turn, get a Leandri's of his own, if he's ever able to afford the gold, I think that'll be. It's basically 5 terrifying damage dealers. If you put Rammus in that category, against 4 for Team Riot. So as the game progresses, I would look for Vel'Koz to make more and more of an impact.
I mean, but we even saw, even without much in the way of offensive items, that last fight, he actually did a lot of damage with that ultimate laser. So if he gets a little more AP, a little more magic pen, that's gonna deal a lot, or as Freak would say, tons of damage.
Well, it's nice. It's nice that you can. That he's able to do that, and you have Rammus to kind of like lock someone in place, and Nivea to slow him down, and they can't get away.
Nice little stun there by Chinook. New Rammus had to basically walk in.
Interesting.
Leona taking a little bit of harassment. Skarzard a little bit in trouble there. Rammus definitely running away, definitely gonna get away.
Yeah.
You don't really, like he was like, don't chase don't chase Sin, sort of the classic example, but like you just can't chase Rammus.
Right.
Like,
right.
Fastest champion in the game, right? He's gonna spin away. Oh, nice stun there onto Jarvan. He's gonna use that golden Aegis there to block a little bit of that last little damage. But.
So this should be interesting. It looks like we have 5 collapsing up top. They should be going for this tower.
That's what they are gonna try and take that. Xerath moving in a little bit aggressive, and Microsoft is moving in, try and defend against this. The culling moves down, does not deal a lot of damage, only hit 1 or 2 of those shots.
They're out of position. They are all going to fall back, and I think at this point that's a smart move, because they're all at half health, and at this point they're going to be in a 5v5 pretty soon.
Yeah, this could definitely be one of those like big team fights.
I'm not sure that this is the.
Although, I mean, it's one of those things where teams are strong enough right now where they could take out Baron.
So they're waiting until they all showed elsewhere, and now they're just going to try and rush down the tower. Skarzard's going to run interference, confuse him, slow him down. They get the free turret. That was very well done by Riot.
Yeah, this is also potentially very smart as well.
Yeah. On Microsoft's side by setting up a gank, but they have so much visibility, Riot does, that they see it's coming.
I mean, they got to do, but like, if they had sort of engaged in this, a couple members, like, basically engaging on a team while they're all recalling, can be extremely chaotic and extremely devastating. Yeah. Because you have one or two people that kind of end up porting back, now you're disadvantaged. Some people don't know whether they should break their recall immediately or whether they should kind of like just like pray and hope that it finishes and they'll be teleported to safety. And they tried to take a little bit of a push here. Microsoft tried to push mid a little bit, didn't get very far. Riot's back now in full force. UB was able to spend all of that money, all those items. And yeah, this is looking very good for the Riot team.
Yeah, the more this game progresses, I mean, the better and better they keep doing. I guess the one question mark for me is just going to be that Vel'Koz for a bit, until they're able to kind of lock down. And while Skarzard's had an amazing game, I am much more terrified of a fed Vel'Koz than a fed Leona.
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
Yeah. That's the trade-off that you make when you make one of these unconventional supports, where you don't have as much support in the laning phase. You know, maybe a little bit of poke from Vel'Koz, but not nearly as much as you would get from, say, a Leona. But then the flip side of it,
Jarvan moving right past the Crystallize. Definitely not want to follow it up a little bit isolated. Rammus, yeah, Riot has such vision of Microsoft's jungle that they feel completely safe and completely comfortable moving around here. Cleaning out those wards, and that's what they're positioning for Baron, which is smart. Yeah. You know, Microsoft has to answer.
Even if even if they're not going for Baron, what they're doing is they're forcing a team fight. They're forcing them to contest in a team
here.
fight.
Throws a ward, hops to it.
Yeah.
Seen the old ward hop strategy that a couple of the characters in the game can use. Either way here, Vel'Koz are in a little bit of harassment. They're not able to do too much damage to the Riot team. The Riot team is extremely durable.
This is interesting. Look for this flank to happen with Jax and Rammus going around back.
Yeah, Rumble alt moves down there, and Nivea burning a little bit, but that is a strong engage here by both teams. The laser being moved down as well. Rammus double kill there by Vel'Koz onto Jarvan. 3 members of Riot are dead. It is 2v4 right now. Riot is definitely trying to get out of this one. Rumble is
There's a 2v5.
2v5, that's right. And Nivea back as well. They did take out a Nivea, but she is a Cryo Phoenix, which means she's going to come back, rebirth out of that egg, and be good to go once again.
So they got, it was 17-9 when that fight started, and it is 17-14 now. It is a much, much closer game. The gold lead is still favoring Riot, but just barely. That was
3K is down from where it was earlier.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a good fight for Microsoft. If they get 1 or 2 more of those, that's going to bring this game back to dead even. And if they're able to even get 1 more of those and take an objective or 2 from that, that could push them into the lead.
Yep, and you know what was instrumental in that fight was a well-executed team fight, but flashing in with Vel'Koz, that was pretty devastating. Got 2 kills for the Vel'Koz.
That alt laser just sweeping through the entire Riot team. Jarvan definitely cataclysmed and was like, "Oh crap, I'm stuck. I have nowhere to go, and I'm just getting lasered."
I don't want to be here. Mistakes were made.
Yeah, the famous "mistakes were made" line. I'm sure was uttered.
Let
me see. Nice little ward sweep there. They want to be sure that Microsoft has no vision or no idea they're doing this, and they're just going to take this. It's going to be a free dragon for Riot, further extending their gold lead just a little bit. So it's going to put them just over 3K.
Just over 3K. But honestly,
it's 4K. Yeah, I can count.
But there's a 3-tower advantage too. As soon as that gets normalized, I think the gold swings actually back in favor of Microsoft at this point. This is they're trying to force it. I don't think they want to start it, but they do want to force them there.
Yeah, so they knew they had the ward coverage to sweep this all out, and we saw they took out that 1 ward, and Microsoft had to move in to respond. They sent 4 people there, all shifting their positions, trying to get in there to basically, hey, like guys, please don't take Baron. Like, just please don't do it.
Well, this is interesting because they see Rammus going bot because of the ward that Chinook is walking through right now, but But even with that knowledge, they didn't head back, which would, you know, Jack's heading back right now to the base. That would have been a prime time to Baron.
It's true, but they don't know where Jax was, right?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't know he was
That's
going
the
there.
advantage we have that they don't.
Rammus getting moved here as well. Lucian having to dash out of that one. Rammus does blow his ultimate, though, trying to get the go there, and everyone's moving on. I'm not sure if they're going to try and do a 5-man Rammus chase. Seems like a poor idea, and they agreed.
Yeah. I'd be interested in that duel between Rammus and Lucian. I mean, he didn't know that there weren't other people coming, but I would assume at this point in the game that Lucian should be able to take him on.
You'd think
I guess
that,
he
but
needs. He probably wants to get Last Whisper before he can.
Oh, calling moves on there as well. Ooh. Everyone going in engage. Rammus completely by himself, fighting 4 members of the Riot team, and does get taken down. Although Jarvan doing the same thing also gets taken down. So both the tanks jumping into the enemy team, both getting exploded. That's gonna be 1-for-1. Both junglers are down. Which means probably trying to take a Baron on either team is extremely risky. Because you want to basically get that free smite off. You want that extra 1,000 damage from smite. You basically can test this. But the second you don't have that, it's a free-for-all. Yeah,
it could be anyone's. Wow. The mechanics on that Jax are very solid.
Very solid indeed. Seeing a little safe recalling there by a lot of people here. Most people don't want anything to do with anything that's happening. It's like, hey guys, I need a breather. Take back, get a little bit of extra money, come back, regroup.
Well, at this point in the game, I'd probably say that Riot's, they had a pretty decent lead early on.
Yeah.
But 4,000 gold lead at this point in the game isn't nearly as dramatic as it was 10, 15 minutes ago.
They're maintaining the same lead pretty consistently from when they had that huge swing early.
Which is not speaking highly of Riot. That makes me think that the momentum is starting to shift towards Microsoft. I think a lot could ride on this next fight, on how this shapes up.
Oh yeah, I mean, a lot's going to fight Rogue on to this next fight either way, right? At this point in the game, team fights are so volatile. Everyone's at max level. We're seeing not quite full item builds. We're seeing a couple of the high-powered items. Like Jax has Trinity Force and Blade of the Ruined King, got a Giant's Belt. These characters are extremely powerful. Someone gets caught, it could be devastating. Baron is a takeable objective at this point, fairly easily, assuming the enemy team isn't interfering.
And Lucian has that Last Whisper now, so if Rumble comes, that should be a fight that he can win at this point.
Yeah, and every outer and mid turret for Microsoft is down. So if Riot wins a fight here, they can take an inhibitor and inhibitor turret, and that could be the first kind of the kiss of death.
Well, and you see what's happening as well is a long time ago we had Riot went and they turned their bot lane. Now it's about to be pushing, and someone is going to have to respond to it, and it looks like it's going to be Jax. Otherwise, they don't get they're going to miss out on a lot of experience. So while he's off doing that, they either need to take Baron or take this mid tower.
Yeah, and no one in this game actually took teleport either, which is something we've seen in the last 2 games. So the people that, if you spot somebody outside of the map, that's where they are, and that's where they're going to be for the next, 10, 15 seconds at least. So I think not a lot of sort of strategic map mobility by either team. A little bit of pinging going down, a lot of ward sweeping happening. Vision at this point, information is so crucial. You need to know where the enemy team is, what they're doing. Yeah, I'm really curious, how these teams even think about their power difference right now. We're seeing, lead here as well, but in game, you can kind of mentally count the number of turrets, you mentally count the number of dragons. Although both teams have gotten at least a dragon, a lot of kills. Kills are roughly even. CS is, all across the board. But that Jax with 275 CS, and 5 kills, 4 assists. That's the guy that's going to become true terror.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to ignore every member of Riot. He's going to be able to just, stomp on anyone who shows up.
He's just one of those hyper carries that once he hits a certain point, and Blade of the Ruined King and Trinity Force, after that, he doesn't need any more damage. He could just go pure defensive items and build a ton of health and build a ton of magic resist and armor and be beastly. He'll be able to two-shot most of the people he comes across anyways.
Yeah. And stay alive the whole time while doing it.
Yeah.
Seeing Varus, who's trying to get a little bit of farm here as well. Yeah, the farm levels on most of these players is pretty high at this point in the game. I mean, these guys are are very, very skilled. They're very good at getting all the last hits. They're they know when to sort of move off, get things. They know when to kind of basically know where they should be going. They know what they should be doing. That's why we're seeing a lot of really good play here.
It's so hard to siege against an Anivia because all she has to do is ult and she can clear that wave, and it's hard to kind of have a lasting impact on that fight. But at this point, because they didn't take advantage of the objectives when they had them, it's less than it's about a 3K gold differential between the two. That's it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller as the game progresses.
We are seeing we're seeing flanking here by both Leona and Rammus kind of moving over the other side. Dragon is under, yeah. Dragon is live.
They know where Rammus is. They either need to collapse on him or collapse on. When you're being split in this many different directions, you want to collapse on one of the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And force that fight.
Just pick a guy and go.
Then it's not a flank, it's getting picked off.
Exactly. And, you know, a lot of wards being thrown down here, and looks like Microsoft might be able to just take this Dragon. It's going to be close. Leona might be moving in here. She is going to get walled off by Anivia. Nice move there, and they just take Dragon.
Yep.
Really good play there by Microsoft, and even almost evening this goal differential now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a negligible difference now. 1,300 at this point in the game is or 700 is nothing.
Yeah.
So look for the teams to kind of go back by, and we should have a very close, even team fight. And honestly, I think the longer this game goes on, the more it benefits Microsoft. They have Vel'Koz, they have Jax, who's one of the best hyper carries in the game, and Nivea is very, very strong late game. Even if it were just Jax and Vel'Koz, that advantage alone will be pretty substantial.
And I mean, a late game Varus is nothing to sneeze at either.
No, no, a late any ADC.
Exactly.
Probably nothing to sneeze at, but we'll consider those two cancel each other out, and other than maybe like a Vayne or a Tristana who are ultra scary at late game. Wow.
Yeah. Nice.
Look at that shred on Vel'Koz.
Yeah, that was about 0.4 Nidalee Spears worth of damage there from Xerath. Oh, a lot of damage. Skarsgård in potential lot of trouble here. He has to back off of this one. Does not really have any kind of inherent sustain. He'll be able to get a little bit from the Targons.
Yeah.
As you know, if he is able to sort of assist with less hitting. Jax getting caught here.
Januk
complete position. That's a stun of Vel'Koz laser. That is a very, very dead Xerath.
Just very. That probably was an ideal positioning for Xerath. That could really cost.
Oh, and they're still chasing. This is going to be really dangerous. Skarsgård in a lot of trouble. Does try to stay behind to help the team. Although, so much damage on the calling me move down. They're not doing a whole lot. Rammus pulling out of this. Jackson hot pursuit. Doesn't jump on. Anivia running away. Nice play there by Jarvan, jumping in. Still in hot pursuit. Oh, but Jarvan now is in 1 for 3. He's trying to get away from this. And Cataclysm's in onto Jax. Jax is desperate, extremely low. Is not going to get him. Jax is going to get out. Does manage to get the double kill there onto Leona. Rumble gets taken down there by Varus. That is an ace.
2 for 5 ace at this point in the game.
Kills are dead even. Gold is dead even. Microsoft can take another objective off of this, bringing the turrets 4-6. Wow.
That was a great team fight.
That was an amazing team fight, and now Microsoft is in the lead.
And it was such a smart time for Microsoft to do it too, because they knew they had just caught Xerath off guard. They were able to get what they needed from him, and after that they just forced a 5v4.
Yeah.
And Riot let it happen. It's
and at that point, I mean, you know, Rocket tried to do cool tricks, cool. We saw Jarvan jumping in there, almost getting 2 kills. You know, got the 1 at least, but it's just giving up your entire team for a kill or 2 is just not worth it. When your entire team's down, the enemy can just do whatever they want on the map. They can take objectives, they can take Baron, they can just get as much farm as they possibly can.
And you know, look at the discipline on the ward coverage too. I mean, you have all of these wards that they're making smart on Microsoft's side. They're making really smart use of their pink wards. They have them placed throughout the map. Each player can only have one of them up, but all of the players on Microsoft's side do, and there's only one up on the side of of Riot.
I mean, there were just 2 up in fairness. They've had a
Yeah.
couple of them up, and they're actually being Riot's been fairly aggressive with their pink wards so far, using them a lot in the enemy jungle, as opposed to Microsoft, which is using them much more defensively.
Yeah. I think, for me personally, I find defensive to be a really smart play with them because they're so easy to destroy, but it's harder to stick around and destroy it in your own jungle. You just don't feel, and the enemy jungle, because it's not very safe. Like right now, he's going to go and try and kill it, but
Yeah.
they could rally up and defend that.
Yeah, and if you don't have vision in any team, you don't know where they are, right? I mean, you know where Jax is because he just rebuilt himself on the map. So they didn't know they were in a 5v4 situation, and they know Jax is.
So what's interesting is they know that, Jax was going to back.
I'm not sure they actually know that. They couldn't see him. He was definitely back behind the minion line.
That would have been a gamble to have done it right then. But it might have been a gamble worth playing off. I mean, Baron's worth a lot. I tend to not go for Baron unless you have a clear numbers advantage.
Yeah.
And that would not have counted.
I don't put this the same way. Like, Baron is one of those characters where he's almost like an extra hero and a half fighting against you while you're doing it. So unless you have at least 1 or 2 people down, it's a totally uneven fight, regardless of being up up a few kills or up a little bit of gold.
Well, you look at the damage that's going to be put out by Microsoft. You have the Hyper Carry and Jax. He has a Guardian Angel. He's going to be really hard to kill.
Yeah.
And then you have Vel'Koz, who's just able to unleash a lot more damage. Like at this point in the game, it's comparable to Xerath. The mid from Riot is going to do about as much damage as that ult is from the support on Team Microsoft.
All right, so Microsoft even took a little bit of a breather. They're actually further pushing a little bit of a gold lead now. They're up 2,000 gold, which is pretty good for being down so far in the past, earlier this game. This is really going to come down to, at this point, we're 41 minutes in. This is basically end game.
Yeah.
Things are really, really close. People have close to max item builds. You're seeing Jax with Trinity Force, Blade of the King, Guardian Angel, and almost as his Randuin's finished. Like, that guy is almost basically has, I guess he's almost complete.
Raid boss.
I don't know. Yeah, raid boss.
Yeah.
Right.
And he's 8-2-5.
Yeah. Throw that on top of that.
And look at he has over 100 CS more than Rumble. I mean, like, that is not insignificant.
Yeah. I mean, if you basically kind of ballpark every minion is 20 gold, he's up 100. That's 2,000 gold that he's up alone, which is most of an item.
Yeah.
Most of an tier item.
One large item.
Yeah. And Riot is doing a good job here of, they know, they have vision, they know Microsoft is not taking Dragon right now, or taking Baron, so they can safely take Dragon. Trying to bring this a little bit back to neutral.
Yeah. But what's peculiar is they, Riot had such a large advantage, and instead of, really zoning in and capitalizing on it.
I think a lot of this comes down to, you see this quite often when you have players who are individually very strong, but they haven't played together as a team, which is they get an early lead, and then they can't do enough with it. They can't finish out a game, they can't rally together, take objectives, they can't work as a full unit. They're still operating much more as individual players than Microsoft, who are practicing together, they've played together, they're very seasoned. Microsoft is operating as a very cohesive team.
Well, it looks like they're going to get ready to. This should be a smart push.
Yeah, they know Rumble is top for Riot. Doesn't look like they actually want to do much with this, so they're just kind of fanning out, porting down probably some wards. They're taking out that little pink ward there. I think Riot's pink ward. Just trying to establish vision control here.
This is interesting though, because the first time that they've really, and Jax is going up top. He doesn't have a teleport, so.
He doesn't, and that's why you saw those pings there. Basically, like, guys, be careful. I'm going to go here. I'm going to take all these minions, all this CS.
You want that top lane to be pushing on its own, so that when he heads back mid, that lane will be pushing down a tower.
Yeah, I do wonder a little bit if Jax is the captain of Microsoft team. I kind of wonder if he's one of those like, hey, there's a bunch of CS there. No, guys, you guys just stall them while I'll get more money.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a thing going on.
I've seen captains like that.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. This could be an engage here. Not gonna happen though. Both teams are split.
It's not the time where you want to.
Oh, that was being thrown there onto Jax. Ram is recalling out of this one though. I don't think Riot knows that so many members of Microsoft are back and gone.
Wow.
Because if they did, now would be a great time to Baron.
The time to Baron, yeah. I mean, they have visibility on the Baron.
Yeah, both teams do have visibility, which is important. Oh, and maybe they know it. Maybe they're swooping in. Oh, they're going for it. A lot of them on there. They don't think that they're taking this.
Well, they see Rammus' bot. They know if Rammus' bot, they don't have their smite, and Rammus is gonna have a hard time getting there in time.
Oh, and there we go. Again. And Skarsgård jumping in there, lands on the Silent J. The culling goes down. Rumble ultimate goes on. The equalizer, equalizing this game out. Gold is again dead even. The equalizer completely living up to its name. Microsoft definitely in retreat mode right now. Because it's a HUD. Cataclysm being flashed out from Ferris. And Ram is moving in here. Ryan in a lot of trouble. He just get completely exploded. Little over-aggression there. Now it's going to be 4v4. Both teams are back, but Riot has Baron.
Riot does have Baron, but I'm not sure they want to be pushing for a fight right now. Not with J4 down.
Yeah, I mean, losing J4 for Vel'Koz at this point when Vel'Koz is so underfarmed and underfed compared to Jarvan. Yeah, things are definitely extremely even. This is an extremely close match right now.
Yeah.
Man, this could go either way.
Yeah, at any point it could be the next wipe, the next ace could be the game. We're going to the 45-minute mark.
Yeah, this is a long, epic game. Man, I've been on the edge of my seat this entire time.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. This is fun. I hope you guys are having fun as well.
Yeah.
We're going to see how this pans out, whether, Riot can sort of defend their honor as makers of League of Legends, or whether Microsoft is going to be like, hey guys, we dominated the AHGL, and we're going to dominate you too. Man, Jackson almost 400 CS.
Wow.
That's a number you don't see very often.
No. And he's still not at full build. He's going to get there soon.
He's almost at full build. He does have that Negatron cloak.
Yeah.
Probably going to be building into sort of a Banshee's Veil, maybe a Spirit Visage, but
yeah,
we'll have to see kind of what happens there. Everyone's kind of dancing around mid lane. All right. Chars, out of here.
So the game is getting very close, and it looks like they're going to try and push. They're setting up for this fight right here.
You see Anivia does land the stun there onto Skarsgård, does land the wall. Zero's in a lot of trouble, but is going to be able to get out of this one. Jarvan moving in. Anivia getting caught here into the Cataclysm. The calling moves on there, goes into egg form. Does not matter. Vel'Koz landing on the ultimate from Rumble, equalizing that. Janook in a lot of trouble though as well. Vel'Koz moving in from the side. Skarsgård extremely low. Lucian on the run. Skarsgård gets taken down by Silent J. Jax, Guardian Angel is popped. As the defender, Mena is running away. Jax gets it back up. He does take out Riot. Lamb goes down. He is on a rampage. Taken down. Lucian gets exploded. That's a double kill for Jax. That is a 4-for-2 in favor of Microsoft.
Wow. That's 4-for-1.
Oh, yeah, 4-for-1. Sorry. Wow, that was extremely really good play there and good fight by Microsoft. They're moving in here, barreling down mid lane. They're going to try and take this inhibitor. Dragon's almost up. Baron's a long way off still. But man, they're moving in here. This turret is probably going to go down. There's no minions, and they do not care at all. They're just going to basically face tank this one. Ram's just going to walk up. Basically does not care at all about this. Jack's taking a little bit as well.
Rumble can't do much.
Yeah, Rumble can't do much by himself, regardless of how much he tries.
Yeah.
And they're going. They might be going for this win right now. They have 10 seconds up on the clock. The Nexus turret is go down. One Nexus turret on Rumble, desperately trying to defend the Vel'Koz laser. Jax moving in. That's going to take it. Probably Rumble goes down, explodes. There's an ace for Microsoft. They take off the last Nexus turret. This Surgeon Skarsgård moves in here, takes out Jax. The Nexus is on its last.
Oh my gosh!
Going down. The sunlight moves down. Baron's completely taken out. The Nexus is at half health, and Microsoft is on the defensive. They lose 4 members. There's 65 seconds on the clock for every member of their team. Riot now has completely turned this game around again.
They got to push mid. They have to push mid. They have to capitalize on this, and be able to take at least an inhibitor or maybe take more.
Yeah, they need this.
They need to counter and take the rest of the game right here.
Exactly.
What an epic match this has been so far.
It's going to come down to whether Anivia can hold them off, and I'm not sure. This could do the exact same thing before, where, you know, Rumble was there, basically managed to hang on by the skin of his teeth.
And Anivia has the power to do that too, though.
Yeah, Anivia can stall these games up, but Scourge just does not care at all. Putting him solo 1 by 1, Anivia gets completely taken out. That's going to be an ace. Although, they only got 15 seconds before Vel'Koz is up. The inhibitor turret is going down. That's probably going to be game for Riot, but they might still squeeze out. Inhibitor is taken down as well, and Riot is going for it. You know, they're down a member. It's 4v0 currently.
3 seconds and
3 seconds until Vel'Koz is up.
Vel'Koz is up, but they're going to get this tower down here.
Oh, and they don't.
Are they working on the Nexus? Can they get the whole Nexus down?
They're just focusing on the Nexus.
The Nexus does go down.
And that's going to be a win for Riot Games.
Wow.
Wow. That was an extremely close matchup.
Wow.
A lot of cheering being thrown down there.
What an epic fight.
That was an amazing conclusion.
Yeah.
Wow.
That game easily could have gone either way. I honestly feel that Microsoft really missed out on one because they had that game wrapped up and cheese pulled by Riot won the game. But I'll take it. I will gladly take it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, wow. What a way to end the League of Legends portion of the After Hours Gaming League.
Yeah, what a great match to end on, too.
Oh, so fun to watch, so fun to, you saw the crowd loving it, you heard the players loving it.
Hope you guys have had a great time. We saw a lot. We saw 3 great matches last night. It was a great one to end on. I had a blast. Feral Pony, thank you so much for coming.
Likewise. Thanks for having us.
And thank you to the AHGL for having us out here. After Hours Gaming League is doing such great things for esports right now.
Definitely.
We're excited to be even a small part of that. So.
You guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to have some StarCraft 2 for you guys very shortly. It's going to sort of be it's gonna be epic. We're gonna see can Microsoft take everything, and they take League of Legends, can they take StarCraft except the last game? They didn't take the last game. Can they take everything except the last game? I don't know. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be watch. Stick around. It's gonna be awesome.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.